everybody for being here. As you look out, obviously, this is a very amazing day for Black Hills State football. When you think about all the culmination of all the events that go on through this process of the recruiting process, and we'll talk a little bit about that, but we're really proud of our staff and the whole community and the school community of what they've been able to do to help us put this class together. As I note every year, and I noted last year, it's great to be here in the Joy Center. We really always want to, this facility is something that, to me is a first-class facility, and, for us to be able to showcase it and do some stuff with it, and what I call the culmination of the recruiting process, which is this press conference, is really great, because this is where it all started for each one of these recruits. And so really, I'm excited to be here. What a great crowd. We got a lot of boosters, fans, families, all the coaches here, so it's great to see everybody, along with the press. There's so many individuals on campus that I want to thank. I'll probably forget somebody, but definitely when I look at the campus and the community and the support that we have through this process and through the year that helped us to get this fine group of young men. I want to note a couple of them. Obviously, you want to start at the top, President Jackson and all the administration that help us to make things possible, whether it's through helping us financially, doing the things. You look at all the things that are going into our facilities, the things that our facility services do around campus, and to make this place look great when the recruits are here and the things they do to help us during the year. But President Jackson, for all of his support, he emailed me today, said he would not be able to be here. He's on the road. I believe he's in peer meetings, but I appreciate everything. Jed Albert, our athletic director, obviously very supportive of everything we do. Just does a tremendous job of letting us coaches coach. He does the stuff as far as administratively, and I definitely appreciate that, and I know so do our coaches. When you look at recruiting, obviously it starts with admissions. All the staff up there, Beth, Megan, Liz, Ben, they work very tirelessly with us. I don't ever think that, it's a deal where we all work together. And every year we tweak some things in our recruiting process, and just working with those guys has just been tremendous every year, and we find a way to make that experience for those kids when they come on campus better, so I want to thank them. Our 3 retention specialist advisors, and this is something that was new. Obviously, we kind of revamped the whole advisor deal, put them in each colleges, and Melissa Hott, Nora Gell, Melissa Woodall, 2 of which are here today, really did a tremendous job. They came in every recruit visit. Actually, we're here twice. They come in and do a PowerPoint presentation the first night, and then we meet with these kids about academics the next day at a luncheon, and really put in a lot of extra time, and I'll tell you what, it made a huge difference. Get professors there, and all the work that they did behind the scenes did not go unnoticed, and we really appreciate it, so thank you, ladies. Ambiance. When we come to this campus, when we bring kids to this campus, we want to show them our unity. We want them to eat at that facility. It is a first-class facility, and we were so excited, when we were able to do that. Ron Shulman, Krista Branna, Bob Dooley before he left, the things that they did, helping us out, giving us an area to take our guys individually, be able to kind of separate ourselves, really helped out, and so all the things that they did was outstanding. The entire athletic department, I look around, I see coaches, I see assistant ADs, I see everybody that helps support, they'd be around, they'd see kids on visits, and they'd stop and talk to them, ask them where they're from, and we always talk about family when we're having kids on campus, and it's easy for us to talk about it, because then they see that stuff, not just from us, but they see it from the other sports. And, the coaches and the support we have from the entire athletic department is just unbelievable. And we all, as a football staff, really appreciate that. Jay Temple specifically, though. Jay, the compliance guy, that's not always the funnest job, but, he does a great job of really working with us, making sure all the paperwork's filled out, that we have all the things done, whether it's sign day, whether it's an official visit, unofficial visit, and really does a lot of stuff that really helps us out, and we really appreciate that, Jay. Ryan Hilgeman and his GA Dave Nelson, you're reading the things that we put out today, and you saw the media stuff. He just does a tremendous job of getting that information out for these families to see. They're videotaping it today. I just think that's outstanding. We're so fortunate to have a full-time SID and a GA that puts in time and really gets out there and does that. Because that makes a huge difference, because we're in an age of Twitter and Facebook, and that stuff's huge. And I'll tell you what, we're not staying up with the Joneses. We are the Joneses, and I think that's awesome. So I thank them. Steve and his staff over here, for allowing us to use this facility. I just told you earlier, this place is unbelievable. And so to be able to be over here right now with all the community people and everybody, and during the visits, they come in off hours. We don't have visits on normal days. They're Sundays, they're Saturdays, they're Friday nights, and really working with us to that extent. I really appreciate that, Steve, and your staff. Our sponsors, there's a lot of sponsors that really are key to this. When you look at it, obviously, some of our key sponsors are our hotels and things. The Best Western Lookout Lounge. They are a huge part of our success with recruiting. They enable us to do some things as far as hotels. They also help us out with the social we do with parents during the recruiting visits, which is awesome. Also the Fairfield Inn with some rooms that they do for our guys. So, those people and those businesses are very valuable to our success in this recruiting process. Lucky Strike Lanes also gives us support. They work with us as far as taking our guys out there with our recruits, and that's just a great way to kick off and really an icebreaker for our guys when they have those recruits on campus. And we appreciate Levi and the rest of those guys out there that help us out. Like I said, I know I'm probably forgetting somebody. There's a lot of people behind the scenes, but when you look at it, the last group I want to really showcase and talk about, and when you see these guys pop up on the screen, the reason you're seeing these guys is our coaching staff. I can't say enough that I get to go to work every day with these guys, and it's just a blessing to me. The group of kids that they've compiled, this group of young men is unbelievable. And when you look at it, I look around the room, and I'm just, Coach Petrino, Coach Kerr, Coach Eastburn, Coach Schnabel, Coach Fairclough, Coach Levine, Coach Novak, Coach Dorn, Coach Conrad, and Coach Seekman, who's over in the weight room, all played such a huge part. Coach Petrino as our recruiting coordinator, lining all this stuff up was huge. It seemed, for us probably at times, it seemed like there might be a little chaotic with everything and changes going on, but you know what? I can guarantee you, to the parents and to the recruits, it looked like it was seamless because of that. And it was because of that and all of our guys and the things that they did on these visits, from setting up apparel to Coach Schnabel running the slides. And there's so much behind the scenes stuff that goes in that really, I had nothing to do with it. I credit these guys for all the hard work of going in and having these visits be just like it's a Division I visit. I really truly believe that. And making these kids feel like not only it is a family, but they walked away going, hey, it's not just what they're saying, but that's what it is. And this coaching staff, they believe that. And when we look at it, we talk about our core values, okay? Willingness to sacrifice, integrity, work ethic, positive attitude, competitiveness. Well, that's our coaching staff to a T. They're as competitive as they get, because guess what? There was a lot of recruits out there, and these guys go after these guys, and they get a relationship, and they want their guy. And so there's office meetings where it gets a little tense sometimes because everybody wants to sign that guy. But that's what makes this class so good, is because everybody fought, and at the end we figured, hey, these are the X number of guys we need, and these guys came up with an unbelievable class. They worked their tails off, driving all around the country, making phone calls, just the tireless energy that they put in to get this class. I couldn't be more proud, and it's an outstanding group, and I'm very, very fortunate. Our players, none of them are here today, but I tell you what, these guys, and we just got done having a team meeting, they're the heartbeat of this program, and they are what sells this program. So when we come on these visits and they meet with these kids, it's so good. That's the biggest part of it, is being a host and getting out there and them getting a feel for that kid and that kid getting a feel for our program. And I know every one of our recruits walked away, because we know what kind of kids we have on our team. And for them to take away their Sunday night, from doing different things, that's a lot. We ask a lot of them, and they gave up another evening, but most of them, it wasn't like we had to beg them. They just did, and that was awesome. Coaches' families, I see so many of them here. These families are so invested, and that's the thing that's so cool. And I think back to the football game where all the wives and fiancés and girlfriends were dressed up like coaches and emulating their husbands or boyfriend, and I just thought that was awesome. And that investment, whether it be the kids, whether it be the wives, whatever it is, they're so invested in this, and there's a lot of sacrifice there. Like I said, these guys are away from home, they're on the road, they're up on Sundays, they're doing different stuff. And so it's not just the investment or the sacrifices that we make, it's the sacrifices that they make. And so, love to have them be a part of it and be here because they are what we are. It's not just the coaches, it's the family. Obviously my wife, Jen, see my two daughters are out here. The other two they're in some activity somewhere. But the investment that they have in this program is so big, and I really appreciate that. Let's talk about this class, okay? And I'll get to the individuals here in a little bit. When you look at an overview of this group, we got 40 total commits, 25 scholarship athletes, 15 walk-on athletes. You break it down on defense, we had 18 on defense, 21 on offense, and one special teams guy. When you look at this group, we only lost 5 seniors from last year. And so, to be able to replace those guys, we've got to do that. But, there's always not a lot of scholarships. And I think our guys were very meticulous in finding the right guys, the right fit, and what a great, and as I said, outstanding group of guys they did. They found a class that met our needs. We had certain needs that we needed to hit. I think some mid-year needs were met. And in that 25 scholarship kids, we had 4 guys that are on campus right now that we'll talk about. And we met some immediate needs that we needed to be a better football team. And I'll tell you what, when we talk about these guys in a second, you're going to know. We were able to get some great local talent, identify some areas outside. We got some new areas that we hit, and to bring that class to that 40. And when you look at it, you break it down, it's 10 states. Colorado was our biggest, 14. People always ask me, about where's your hotbed, and it's all over. We're going to hit the hills here. We're going to hit Wyoming. We're going to hit different areas, but Colorado's been really good. And I keep going back to, number one, we live in the most beautiful place there is. Okay, and kids that come from Colorado, obviously we're not the Rocky Mountains, but we're pretty darn good. And so when you look at that kid comes up here and he loves it. He falls in love with the school, the community, the coaches, the players, the staff, the professors, you name it. And then they get to live here. And then they get to go to away games in Colorado, and they're right in their backyard. And so that's huge. And so that's why 14 from Colorado. South Dakota, we got 6. California and Wyoming, we got 5. Nebraska, we got 3. Arizona and Texas, we got 2. And then Montana, Kansas, and Florida, we each got 1. So really, I thought our coaches went out and they did a great job when you look at that. All right, let's get to these guys. When you look at it. When you look at our first one, you look up there, Isaiah Burkle. These next 4 guys I want to talk about are guys that are on our campus right now, are taking classes, are working out with our team, and I'll tell you what, we got better when these 4 guys walked on campus. I will guarantee you that. Isaiah's a linebacker for us. He's just been getting after in the weight room. He's got a smile on his face. He's got a little bit more facial hair. I saw him in the weight room. He said he's going to shave today, and I said I didn't hardly recognize him compared to this slide when I saw it. But he's going to add something to our linebacking core. We're very, very excited to have him. Dimitri Butts. Dimitri comes to us kind of a bunch of different places. Started out in Pompano, Florida, Pompano Beach. That's where he's from. Went to high school in Georgia, and then ended up at Feather River Community College out in California. Really, his work ethic is unbelievable. This kid's got a smile. If you walked in this room right now, okay, it wouldn't matter how bad a day he's having, that kid's gonna have a smile on his face. And he's gonna add to our defensive secondary, and we're excited about that kid. Jared Tiefenthaler, D-tackle. If you know the state of South Dakota, or you've ever known anything about sports in South Dakota, this name will ring a bell. Okay, he's got the lineage of this guy, and his history of athleticism, and his family is unbelievable. And this guy's going to write a new chapter here in South Dakota. Okay, people will forget his father, and they'll forget his uncle. I'll guarantee it. Okay, because this kid can play, and seen him in the weight room, and I just saw the other day he was weighing 299. I've never seen a kid move that well and do the things he does, looking like 299. And that's great. And Jared's going to be a great addition to us, and as I said, already is. Darian Warford. Darian's a big old lineman. We got once again comes to us from Fresno City. Every time I see him around campus, I say, how's it going? And he shakes his head, and the hair flops around. He says, I love it here, coach. And it just puts a smile on your face. And I love watching that kid work. Once again, these junior college, these mid-year kids came in, and the thing they came in with that you don't always see is they came in with a work ethic. And that's awesome because they're just fitting in so well. And that's exciting for us. And so these 4 mid-year guys, like I said, are already making an impact and are going to continue to make that into next season. Moving on to our signees. These guys are all guys that signed letters of intent today, national letters of intent. 21 of them. 21 kids who, all around the country, Colorado, Nebraska, it's just a great group of initial signees that we're very, very excited about. First one, Taylor Alcorn, kid from down the road in Crawford, Nebraska. Anybody that's familiar with Black Hills State is very familiar with the name Alcorn. Zach Alcorn, his uncle played here. Obviously was an All-American, played professionally. Also his uncle lives up here, Jim, and then he's also had numerous cousins that have gone on and relatives that have gone on and played collegiate athletics. So, it's in this kid's bloodline. And, we saw him playing, he played everything. He played D-line, he played fullback. We were going to play him at tight end, just kind of like the lineage of all his other relatives, but this is an athletic kid that's going to fit in great up here. Coy Bowen. When you think of Coy Bowen and you watch his video, and I know some of you were watching it earlier, and you'll get a chance to watch it here a little later, this kid's a playmaker. I mean, this kid's going up, he's grabbing balls, he's pulling them out from the sky, and we're very excited to have this kid from Brighton come in, and he's going to do great things for us. And he's just, like I said, the thing you're going to see is this kid's a playmaker. When that ball's up in the air, he's going to get it. Jack Bergeser, 6'6" quarterback. Okay, he's not going to have trouble seeing receivers. And another thing is he's got a cannon, and he's very good at seeing his reads. He was a very developed quarterback. When we looked at it, we looked at a bunch of quarterbacks just to get that guy that can kind of come in and continue to develop as we have had in the past. And so Jackson's going to do a great job for us. Comes in, he's a great leader, and we're excited to have him. Sam Garcia. Sam is a kid I really hope everybody in this room, gets a chance to meet. That kid, I talked to him on the phone a couple times. He was not able to make it up on his visit. Coach Fairclough, Coach Eastburn have met with him. Coach Fairclough was his recruiting coach, had a great relationship with him. This kid is unbelievable just to talk to. And, and the other thing is he's one heck of a football player. Return specialist, cornerback, cover corner, and we're very, very blessed to have this kid be a part of our program. Not just because of the football player he is, but because of the person he is. He wants to go into ROTC. When you read his bio and the things that this kid wants to do, he has a plan, and that's awesome. Peyton Gilmore. I believe Peyton was our first commitment way back in the fall. This kid said, I want to be a Jacket, and that was the end of the story. He's got ties to some players up here, and you went to school in Colorado and transferred down to Texas, was down there. We recruited him as an athlete. He can play fullback, he can play linebacker. What you see this kid doing is making plays, whether it's at fullback, whether it's at tailback, whether it's at linebacker. Obviously, he played at a very high level in both states. There's a very high level of football in Texas, and he played it there, and we're excited. Peyton's going to be a great addition to this group. Jamie Gray. Jamie Gray is a long snapper linebacker. Has a great opportunity to get on the field right away as a long snapper. This kid throws darts back there. Actually got invited to a camp out in Vegas, actually kind of a tryout deal where people are looking at him. And we're very fortunate to get this kid because there was teams that were wanting him, and we wanted him too. And we know special teams is such a huge part. And we want a great punter, we want a great kicker, we want a great holder. But the first things first is that ball has to get there. And with this kid, it will. And he's got a great family, and we were excited. It was great having him on his visit, and we can't wait to get Jamie on campus. Nick Gustafson. Nick is a big tackle. Obviously when you look, it all starts up front. You're going to see a lot of guys we talked about as far as linemen. Nick's one of those guys, a big kid you're going to see just downfield making plays. 6'3", 266, comes from a great program in Horizon. And a very exciting day when Nick said, hey, I want to be a Jacket. He's going to be a great addition to those guys up front. So we can't wait to get Nick on board. Kyler Harper. Kyler was kind of a kid that we got on late. We're glad we did. You look at this kid, and he's just explosive, whether it's as a receiver, a return guy, you name it. This kid is a playmaker. And once again, you keep hearing that with these skill kids, but that's what we have to have. You see the talent that's in this league. And we have to have more guys like Coy Bowen and Kyler that can come in and make plays and do different things, whether it be in the return game. And so we're excited to have a Lampkin on board from Fort Collins. Kenton Hewitt. Kenton, don't let the beard fool you, man. That kid's he's nicest guy you're ever gonna meet. Yes, sir, no, sir. But I'll tell you what, when you get him on the field, you better watch out.
What's wrong with a beer?
Nothing wrong with the beer. That's a good looking one. But when you look at it, Kenton's a guy that came on his visit last weekend and actually committed when he was up on his visit. And it was just great to see that joy. You could see that, he knew this was a place he wanted to be. And the good thing is this is the place we wanted him to be. And he's an offensive lineman that's going to really do some great things for us, and I know Coach Nowell can't wait to work with him. Clayton Cook. Anytime we can get local talent, we want to make sure we can do that. This kid, Hardin County, obviously was a big reason why Hardin County was back in the Dome again, in the state championship. A kid that we've seen in camps for the last few years, knew that we wanted him to be a Jacket. His brother played up here for Sainsbury. That's a great tie for us. But I'll tell you what, this kid's going to ride his own thing. And he's a big, tall, rangy kid. He can run, he can move, and number one, he's competitive. He does some great things. I read in the paper the other day, he just made the 1,000-point club for basketball. And so obviously he's athletic, and that's what we love about Clayton. He's going to be another great addition to that defensive backfield. Brett Lamb. Brett Lamb's a kid that kind of came to us this summer, had some relatives that had kind of moving up here, had some real estate. He came up to a camp, one of our camps. We got to see him, and I tell you what, after about seeing him the first scrimmage, we knew this is a recruit we want to get. He then came on a game day, he then came on an official, and we were thinking it was gonna, he's a San Antonio kid that's got a lot of options going. Well, he called Coach right before Christmas and said, Coach, I'm done visiting. I want to be a Jacket, and that was a great day for us. He's going to be a great addition for us at linebacker. Wyatt McMillan. Wyatt comes to us from Jerry, Nebraska. Guy that I coached with is now the head coach down there, Jimmy Rhodes. Also, Dalton Wademan, who played here, was doing his student teaching down there. And they told us about, hey, Coach, we got some kids down here you want to take a look at. Well, it was a very good and smart trip that they took down there. Plus, they came up to some game days. Because you watch this kid on offensive line, and he reminds me a lot of Dalton Wademan, which is not a bad thing. This kid gets after it. He played tackle. He's going to move inside and play an interior lineman for us. You can tell he's very well coached, but the kid, he's a finisher too. And we're excited to get Wyatt as a part of our offensive line as well. Cole Miller. When you meet this kid, the thing you're going to notice about him when you see him on the field is he's going to have a 7-foot wingspan. Okay? The kid's only 6'3", 6'2", but the guy has arms like no other, which I talked to him on the phone today, and I said, that's real good when you're chasing quarterbacks. And I can't wait. This kid just, once again, has a motor. He gets after it. He's going to be a great addition to our guys up front, which we need those guys. And, like I said, I can't wait to see him reaching out and pulling some guys down from Littleton, Colorado. Next guy, Joseph Moraga. You might have seen it on the film, man. This guy is a beast. He's from California. He was our top offensive line prospect. And really, when you looked at him, we saw he played at a high level. He's from Merced, where Bradley Adams is from. And really, what a great guy. Him and his dad flew out, and I don't know if they fell in love with us, but we fell in love with him. His dad's a great guy, and I know that when they were out here, they were talking to Mom back and forth, and I think if Dad had his choice, he would have made his decision right then, but they had to go home and make sure they conferred with Mom. But great kid. He's just going to continue to grow and develop and be a great person, great individual for our offensive line. The next one, Colin Powers. Colin very well could be the best athlete in the state of Wyoming. The kid got hurt this year. A lot of teams shied away. I'll tell you what, we did. We'd seen this kid at camp. Coach Petrino stuck on this kid, stayed with him, did not waver, and I think that really meant a lot to him. He was with Bighorn when I believe they won the state championship the year before, and he lived in Alaska. Actually, is the nephew of Sally Nichols, who used to be our volleyball coach. So Colin, he is as athletic as a kid as you will see. This kid will play and do great things for Black Hills State, and cannot wait to have him as a part of our team. The next one, a little different. Not every day you get to recruit your son, okay? It can be challenging at times. You want to go, hey, let's make a decision. But it was probably the best thing. It was the most exciting thing that's ever happened. It's not every day you get a note telling you a kid's committed and puts it on his door. And that's what you have to read. But, really very, very fortunate to, as you grow up, you want to have a chance to maybe coach your kid. And I'm afforded that opportunity now. And very excited to have him. It's hard to talk about him because I feel like he's a great kid. I guess his mom will have to speak for that. But he's a good student, and I really feel like he's going to add some things to our program.
May I, Coach?
Yes.
He's a great football player.
He is a great football player.
Say it.
Thank God for Mom's Jesus.
I believe he can. Thanks to Mom. I think he's got a chance to do some great things for us. You know, he really fits in well. I know growing up, a kid wanted to go play college, no matter where it was at. And I told him, hey, you earned it. And we're excited to have him be a part of our program. Bailey Rosenstraub. Bailey is another, man, when I look at this group, you know, I've been talking about a lot of big, we've got a lot of linemen in there. And these guys are going to do great things, and they're very talented. We've got some athletes. And when you see Bailey, this kid can do so many things at that safety spot. And then the other thing is this kid's a 4.09 and a 28 or 29 ACT. So he's pretty smart too. And you know, when you look at that, you know, that's exciting. You know, the kid, number one, he knows what he wants to do. You know, when he came here, there was a little bit of time spent on football, but there was a lot of time spent on academics with these ladies, and that's important to us. You know, and I'll interject. I think unofficially, when I looked at it for our group, the GPA, and like I said, I was missing a couple. But we were about a 3.28 to a 3.3 GPA and about a 22 ACT average for these guys. This is a great group of kids, not only athletically, but also in the classroom, which is huge because that's why they're here. But Bailey is the leader in that department, you know, with his 4.0. The next guy, Joseph Russell. Joe's kind of helped continue that pipeline we have down in Pasco County. You know, with my brother coaching down there, it's been nice to be able to kind of keep those lines going. Really have a lot of appreciation for what Coach Browning at Sun Lake does. Every time I talk to coaches down there, he's a guy's name that comes up. They're 8-3 this year. They're always in the hunt, and they're very well coached kids. And you know, I had a relationship with Joe, was able to continue to build that. And I tell you what, you watch his film, this guy is a finisher. He finishes plays, and that's what we always talk about. You know, we want to finish, we want to do things, and we won't have to worry about this guy because he's going to be 10, 15, 20 yards downfield, and he's exciting to watch. He's going to be a great addition, continue with that pipeline from Pasco County down there. The next guy, Sebastian Stefkovic, another corner return specialist. This kid can, when that ball is in his hands, the kid can do amazing things as a return guy. He's another kid that committed here in my office, and it was awesome, you know. Kind of him debating back what he wanted to do, and finally he was like, boom, Coach, I want to be here. And walked out, told the rest of the staff, and you know, everybody was smiling because this kid from Brighton, Colorado, number one, he's a great corner, he's a great return guy, and he's a great kid. And so another great kid from Colorado we're adding. Tanner Tadler, and you see right there, Valor Christian. Okay, that is obviously it's one of the most prominent schools, you know, in football out in Colorado right now. And talking to his coaches, what they told our guys, Coach Petrino, was, you know, our success this year with all of our championships and everything we've done in the past would not have happened if we wouldn't have this guy. And they've got some great players on the team. I'm just going to tell you that. Okay, but this guy was kind of the glue. He was the guy that, you know, was a great leader, and you can tell that you spend 2, 3 minutes with him, you're going to know what a leader he is. And you know, he's an athlete, but he can play running back, he can play linebacker, do so many things, and we will find a spot for this guy, no doubt. And he will find a spot on our team. Dartanian Bukoda. Okay, Dart comes to us from Cheyenne. Actually, originally lived in Spearfish for a while. Only played football for 2 years. And you know, we saw him at camp. He came up with Coach down in Cheyenne at camp. We saw him, and you know, we knew there's so much upside for this guy. And you know, at the end, we really excited to continue. We always do well down in that area, and to get him and have some local ties and some stuff, I think is great too. And he's going to be a great addition to that guys up front. The last couple of guys I want to talk about are guys that basically will walk on us. You know, that's a big part of our program. You know, not every kid we have the opportunity to scholarship right away. Some of them earn scholarships. We've got a lot of guys that have played prominent minutes and done great things for us and started as a walk-on. But these guys, a couple of them are already on campus right now, 2 of them, and the rest of them will be joining us in the fall. But Damon Bartlett is a wide receiver from Montana. Jake Basinger, who's a wide receiver, who's actually with us right now and doing a tremendous job. Jake came to us from Fruita Monument via Trinidad Community College, came up here as a wide receiver, and has just worked his tail off. And
he's going to find himself playing some special teams, some receiver, giving us some depth there. Jonah Campbell, Jonah's brother, actually signed with us last year. Jonah's joining us this year from Chino, California, as an old offensive lineman. Skylar Dean is another kid that's already on campus. Skylar comes to us via Kansas State, via Pratt, played some